stumble upon amazing discoveries in the lab. I'm talking about the establishment, the investor, the decision maker at the top who decide which potential advancement to green light and which to starve or sweep under the carpet. This means that the ill effect we all witness of table sugar and high fructose corn syrup on health continue to get grouped with the effect of the sugars in something like bananas, and that's a major loss for everyone because that natural sugars is bound to critical nutrients that you can't get any other ways and a missing piece in liver health. Much of the time when sugar gets the blame, that scientific observation is truly picking up on, without realizing it, are the ill effects of the combination of processed sugar plus fat. We covered this a bit in the previous chapter, and we will look at it in much more detail later. It's not only that the nutrients happen to be bound to sugars. The liver needs nutrients that are surrounded by sugar because sugars help it do its job. Sugar is how other nutrients propel through the bloodstream and enter into organs. Without sugar, a nutrient can't drive itself where it's needed. Fat doesn't work this way. The fat we eat don't carry an antioxidant, vitamin, or other nutrients for delivery in the body. They don't drive nutrients into organs and tissues. That doesn't mean that healthy fat don't hold nutrients. It's that they don't deliver them the way sugars do. A healthy fat will indeed contain vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients, and that's the basis of the scientific belief system that fats are so beneficial. What medical research and science don't realize is that as healthy as a given fat source may be, as much as it may have to offer is a microscopic fraction of what sugar has to offer in the way of actually getting nutrients to their destinations. Radical fat nutrients are hard to harness because they are suspended and encapsulated in globules of fat that aren't easily broken down, on top of which excess fat in the bloodstream are like a school bus driving in front of a mail carrier for an entire delivery route. It doesn't mean the school bus is on bad. It's filled with wonderful children, and the bus driver's duty is to travel at a measured pace. Still, the bus does slow down the mail carrier, the sugar delivering nutrients. It holds up deliveries, some of which are critical, like the refund check that will allow you to take your daughter out and get her the soccer equipment she needs. While fat is just trying to do its job, too much of it keeps sugar from doing its vital duty. It takes work for the liver to process vitamin and mineral and antioxidant and the like, and all that work generates heat. The liver is the organ that runs hottest to begin with, as the heater of the body is there to help you stay warm when the temperature drops. It generates additional heat doing its many jobs. The more fat and toxins it has to process, especially, the harder it has to work and the hotter it gets. The only way the liver keeps from overheating is with sugar. along with the right blend of water and mineral salt. Glucose is what helps the liver keep it cool, like the cooling agent for a car's engine. Glucose keeps it running. Glucose also feeds the liver. As I said, it's fuel. While the liver is made up of two main lobes and also includes the smaller caudate and quadrate lobes. It has tiny lobes internally too, called lobules, which you can think of as eels in a toy factory. Those eels are busy all day long. They sort through material deliveries. Everything you are exposed to, from food and drink to what you breathe to what goes on your skin, deciding what's a useful building block and what needs to go to the trash heap. The eels bundle up the good and bad, they send them on their separate path, and this work makes them hungry. They need to be fed at regular intervals, and glucose is what they crave. It's just one more reason why your liver's backup supply of glycogen is so precious. Otherwise, the liver can't function. It can't process critical nutrients. It can't protect you from fat, and it can't do anything else that we are looking at here in part 1. When you take fuel away from the liver for too long, it not only runs out of steam, it begins to fight for its life and yours. It may even send out stronger effects. That's a chemical compound that acts as agent to gather minuscule sources of glucose from throughout the body and then bring them back to the liver. It's something like robbing Peter to pay Paul. This is one of those times when the liver shows itself to be like another brain because it keeps a record of the glucose it takes from other parts of the body, a record that cannot be weighed or measured. A record of intelligence. With cellular information, it documents the glucose stolen from Peter so Paul can make sure he pays him back along the way. When the liver gets restocked with an adequate amount of glucose, it will then release not just the normal, regulate amount of glucose that Peter needs. It will release a little extra. The liver tags the extra glucose with a hormone that allows for quick, easy usage, paying back Peter in a very efficient manner that not only satisfies him, it makes him forget he was ever robbed. You will notice that there's high fat that it changed through in little bit of sugar now. If it didn't and a diet were only fat and protein long term, it would create a tragic situation of the liver scrapping by to survive. It would also cause the robbing Peter to pay Paul situations to go on way too long, and so because experts have observed that an on fat and protein diet lead to negative health effects, they are allowing pint of berries in a diet or bringing in apples, pumpkin or avocado or adding hidden sugars in their protein bars. Avocados, by the way, were thought to be poisonous until very recently, with reports of yesterday calling them dangerously fattening and terrible for health. Now they are in vogue. Thought no one even realized just how wonderful they are for health. Along with fat, avocados contain very valuable variable sugar. Before you worry that their fat-sugar combination is a problem, know that an avocado is a rare, random exception to the fat-sugar issues. The avocado's fat content is so infused with its sugar that it's designed not to let the sugar get in the way and to keep the liver balanced. Unless you eat avocados in high quantities day in and day out. So why you don't want lots and lots of avocado? The liver won't cry out so much when avocado's fat is coming through. Its viscosity is easier on the organ, making it a healthier source than many others. Avocados are good for you. Now back to the diet expert. Note that they haven't been bringing avocados and other low sugar sources into diet because they understand that the body is desperate for glucose. It's because they have seen that the old model wasn't getting people anywhere in the end. They weren't improving. If diet